It's time for the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. Martin is a national championship fullback from the 1992 Alabama Crimson Tide. Known for his bruising runs and devastating blocks now, he's bulldozing through sports talk with that same championship intensity. Joining him is his son, Xavier, a savant of football knowledge and statistical insight. He's your go-to source for the latest recruiting news and insider updates from across the Bama Nation. Together, they deliver fair and balanced analysis from an insider's perspective with real conversations where the callers, the listeners, and the online maniacs get in on the action by sharing their thoughts, their comment, and their reaction. Join our online maniacs at facebook.com/The Martin Houston Show. You're listening to Tide 100.9 and 1230 WTBC. It's time for kickoff, so buckle up and get ready. Because this is the sound of Bama sports. The Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier is live. Roll Tide, roll!
Welcome into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. Man, we've got a lot to get into today. We are powered by Box Eye Care, and we're going to be talking about Alabama versus South Carolina. We've got some Hey Coach audio. We've got the top 20 wins by this Alabama team, 4 in a row, no weeks off. Nobody's ever done it before. The trust and maturity of Ty Simpson. Talk about Xavier Round's pick 6, keys to victory, time of possession, red zone success, turnovers, penalties. Rico Scott and his engagement and how he might be a big part of this week's game plan and stealing possessions. Alabama's ability to not turn the ball over, get turnovers, and maintain, and much, much more.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is a free-for-all Friday powered by TJ's Pharmacy and Wellness. TJ's Pharmacy and Wellness. We will keep you engaged. If you'll get engaged, it is the Martin Houston Show, as David said, powered by Box Eye Care. And we thank TJ's Pharmacy and Wellness for making this free-for-all Friday possible. We need you to jump in on that conversation. Lots and lots of things to get to. I love the stealing possession conversation. He talks a little bit about that in the Hey Coach audio that we have tonight. But Alabama winning in all of the key statistics and the key areas. This team is getting better each and every week. But the question I have is 2 things asked for you that I'm going to let you address right off the top of the show here in a minute is, does this team still have something in the tank? And where do they get better this week? Because there's a couple things, even though we're doing good, there's a couple things we could even do better, which is a scary, scary thought for the rest of college football. So along with those other things you mentioned, the trust and maturity piece that he talked about with guys like Ty and Jeremy, that allows them to keep their playbook wide open in non-traditional places like 3rd and 5 on the goal line. 3rd and 5. That's crazy. But you trust your guys so much that you can do things like that. And we keep saying, I think people are doing Alabama disjustice because they keep saying things like Alabama's the first one to win 4 AP top 25 games. Well, the reality of it is, I think Vanderbilt was the lowest ranked team we played, right?
Yeah.
It's 17.
Yep.
Right? I mean, so it's like 17, 15, or 14, and 11 and 5. So it's not just that they've won, 3 top 15 games in a top 17 game. So it's even more impressive in the middle of a season. So there's a lot to love about this particular Alabama team. X, but a couple of things before I ask you about where can they get better and is there a tank gas left in the tank. It's a free for all Friday, so I may take you anywhere this morning. So just be ready for that. The 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 other thing I want to remind everybody is get your score predictions in. The tiebreaker is rushing yards for Alabama, our rushing yards. And so remember that. And remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. So let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. And we'll get you in the program. The Empowerment Leadership and People Solutions hotline is open for business. So give us a call, 205-342-9904, 205-342-9904. And for those of our maniacs that's tuned in, Tim Richardson, Rusty Dents, Jacob Powell, Curtis Moore II, Bam Bam getting his score in, Bam Bam 72 getting his score in. He's going to go Bama 33, South Carolina 13, and 135 rushing yards. Jumping in there already. Latoya Billingsley, good morning, and Roll Tide. Piano Man 61, Hollywood the Barber, and Samuel Pittner rounding out the Maniacs that's online this morning. You can get in on it as well. We appreciate you jumping in this morning on this free-for-all Friday powered by TJ's Pharmacy and Wellness. Two quick sidebar things, X. One was there was a graphic that I posted on Facebook.com, the Martin / Martin Houston show that showed what people say is the 4-quarterback race. Okay. And they had Ty, and from left to right, it was Ty, Julian saying, Fernando
Mendoza.
Fernando Mendoza. I was getting his first and last name mixed up, but Fernando is his first name, Mendoza of Indiana. He wears 15 as well, right?
Yes.
Are these guys Tim Tebow? I never thought about that. But anyway, and then there's Pavia, Diego Pavia. I asked, is that a legit list? And is saying really the guy who's had to do the least on that list, but yet he's on the most loaded team that's had the easiest road of everybody so far?
Yeah. And it's not close. They haven't played anybody since Texas, and they get the hype of playing Texas because Texas was number one in the nation at the time. But as you can see, they're this year a middle of the road SEC team.
They were middle of the road last year. They just had the easiest schedule.
Well, it's pretty much the same schedule, ain't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is they were middle of the road last year. They didn't beat anybody. The only team they beat that was not bottom half of the conference was Texas A&M. That was the only one. Everybody else that they beat last year in the SEC
was back half.
Was
the back half.
Back half. And
Texas A&M was like number 6 or 7.
No, they were number 8.
Were they?
Yeah, they ended up number 8, I think. Now they were not number 8 when they played them, but they were number 8 by the time. Yeah. So, but anyway, I think Julian Sayan may be a good quarterback. I don't think any of the other teams would be winning
with him as a quarterback.
I don't think any of the other. Indiana might be. I don't know, but. If you take the two guys that have different styles, to me, I want to dislike it, but I can't because.
Let's put it to you like this. If Julian Sayin was still at Alabama, he'd be the backup. If Julian Sayin hadn't transferred, he'd be the backup.
He'd be waiting his turn. And the guy who I endeared my heart to him a little bit more after the game was Diego Pavia. I thought he was arrogant. I still think he's a little arrogant. But did you
He
see?
hit the Heisman last week.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And this week he's now in the conversation. So I mean, he wasn't. Nobody was talking about him. They're talking about how good he was, but now because he did the Heisman, he's kind of put himself there. But did you see what he did after the game? That's what I'm telling you. I was like, man, this little punk. But he has 1,500 yards passing, more rushing touchdowns than all of the guys I think added together. Vanderbilt sits at right now. Vanderbilt is on track to have only lost to Alabama, and so they're second in the third in the conference between Texas A&M and Alabama. All right, but they need Alabama to lose twice to pass them. So it's going to be a hard road. But here's the thing. But I didn't like Pavia. But listen to what he said after the game in his interview, X. And I had to humble myself. He said, "I just want to thank God." He said, "God humbled me." I hate to see where he was at if his attitude was humble. But anyway, he talked about how God had humbled him and how he needs to show more people what can happen when you trust God. I'm paraphrasing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? I mean, it was a now. I'm always a little leery because sometimes people don't, when they don't say Jesus, I'm always a little leery. But it was a different, made me go, okay, let me watch this kid and see, because some of that is you have to have that, some of that swagger if you're at Vanderbilt to try to get everybody else to believe. And that's what he's done. If it was an MVP trophy, he's the MVP of college football. You take you there's other guys that could have Alabama maybe 5-1, maybe not with the way we played. I don't know if there's another quarterback in the country to have Vanderbilt 5-1 or 6-1, whatever their record is. But anyway, X, last thought. What about this the SEC permanently banning the official of the Georgia game?
Georgia Auburn game? Is that I saw it quick and didn't read it all.
I have looked everywhere. I've seen it a million times. I've asked AI. I've Googled. It seems to be legit.
Yeah,
it's hard to believe, but it seems to be legit. If anybody,
what was the reason? What was the reason? Like I saw it real quick before Deuce's game last night, but I didn't get a chance to.
They say that they said there was 11 calls reviewed, and 9 of them his crew missed.
So was it just him that got banned, or his whole crew?
I would assume it's possibly his crew, but they held him responsible for the review. And I'm like, the replay team is the one that makes the review.
That makes the call. He just relays the call.
Yeah, but he got held responsible for it. So, listen, I think it's another one of those things. Auburn is babied so much. You know how many missed calls we've seen in college football, and we've never seen the SEC proactively give a written statement like they did after
Auburn, Georgia.
Oklahoma. No, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, think about that. And so, yeah, it was in a momentum thing. But do you know? Anyway, but it wasn't.
You can't figure out how to score again in a whole half. Yeah, that's the ref's fault.
14 yards before their last drive, they got in, and it wasn't just that one game. That is a pattern. But it was the ref's fault. And now this guy, and I would assume it's his crew, and it's I guess they'll be used on non-SEC, all SEC games, but they won't be used any SEC games, is what I was told. So, but anyway, I hope here's what's crazy for me. This is a scapegoat for the SEC, X, and I'll close with this and let you respond and take us to break. It's a scapegoat for the SEC. How can you have not warned, and there's not been any public, discipline and all of this stuff, and then the guy he wasn't temporarily banned, X.
Permanently.
The word says permanently, and somebody said, "Isn't that like fired?" If you permanently banned. But anyway, I'm not laughing at him. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, that's insane. I've never heard of anything like that, but it's gonna give Auburn fans a reason to cry and say, well, we should be 5 and whatever, 6 and whatever. It's gonna get annoying.
Every official in the SEC is against Auburn based on their 0-4 start for 3 consecutive years.
Yeah, but I don't know. Hey, we've got a lot more to get into. We're going to flip the script, get into Alabama versus South Carolina. We'll hear a little bit of Coach DeBoer on Hey Coach, talking about the wins, trust and maturity, and more on the other side. This is the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you on this TGIF. Getting off to a nice and quiet start for your Friday. If you're moving along, do be aware we have road construction on 2059 on the eastbound lane before Foster's. Now, this long-term road work is going to block out a lane. Also, eastbound at Tuscaloosa Coaling, that's University Boulevard. Watch out for road work there as well. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders.
Eli Manning here. There's nothing like football and King's Hawaiian Sliders. There's something about those soft, fluffy, irresistible King's Hawaiian Sliders that make them a winner on game day. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. King's Hawaiian. There's nothing like it.
Only at Townsend Nissan, every new and select used vehicle includes a lifetime powertrain warranty. And right now, get up to $7,000 off new Nissans. Family owned, serving Tuscaloosa for over 50 years. Townsend Nissan, where peace of mind comes standard.
We're Tuscaloosa Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and we're on a journey to be Tuscaloosa's destination for powerful, iconic Jeeps, like a new Jeep Grand Cherokee for only $349 a month during the Drive into Fall event. Start your journey now at Tuscaloosa Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or TuscaloosaCDJR.com, where you pick it out and we'll work it out. On select models with approved credit plus tax, registration, and dealer fees. See dealer for details. Expires month end.
If you're looking for a great place to watch the Bama football game, head to Grandstand in Temerson Square. They have a spacious layout with multiple premium flat screen TVs to watch the game on, pool tables, and dartboards. The restaurant has a variety of American-style food, including bites, burgers, pizzas, and wings. Grandstand is also known for its live music and great drink specials, making it a great spot to catch the game or enjoy a night out with friends. Grandstand, located on 4th Street in Temerson Square, downtown.
Your flagship home of Alabama sports. All season long, don't miss a minute of Alabama football coverage right here on 95.3 The Bear and Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC. And that means after the games, the Tide postgame show is live. Call in, talk about what just happened on the field, hear great moments from the game. The Tide postgame show is powered by Pearl River Resort, DCH Regional Medical Center, Tuscaloosa Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, and 2 Dimes.
Hey, I'm Martin Houston, and I want to tell you about exciting news happening at Box Eye Care. They've moved to their new location, bringing you a brand new lab, stylish new frames, and a fresh look just for you. Enjoy their expanded frame inventory, competitive prices, and faster service, all with the same great level of service you've come to know and trust. Discover this full-service eye care at Box Eye Care's new location. With their in-house lab, they offer unbeatable value and one of the largest frame collections in town. Schedule your eye exam today and walk out with new glasses in less than an hour in most cases. Visit boxeyecare.com. That's boxeyecare.com, or call 205-342-0660. That's 205-342-0660. Visit them at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That's Box Eye Care. Your vision, our priority.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Very nice weather continues today. The sky mostly sunny, the high 75. Fair tonight, the low 51. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high at 74. Sunday, cloudy and cooler with rain moving in during the day, the high 66. I'm James Spann with the Alabama Weather Network on Tide 100.9. It's 46 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Keep it locked into Tide 100.9 for more of the Martin Houston Show with Martin Houston and X's and O's Sports, Xavier Houston.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. My name is Xavier. We have today's keys to victory as we get ready to hear from Coach DeBoer doing Hey Coach. We have the top 20 wins, starting it off, and I think that's been pretty impressive what Alabama's done this season. You know, a month straight of games, Alabama getting 4 top 20 teams, no one lower than number 17, as high as number 5 in the country. And 2 of those are on the road. This isn't like, Missouri started the season with 6 straight home games. Bama's going on the road, fixed things that a lot of people had concerns with after Florida State. So I would say that can't complain too much about where Coach DeBoer has this team.
Yeah, absolutely. Alabama, it's been really, really impressive. And here's what Coach had to say, excuse me, regarding, playing those top 20 teams, because, like I said earlier, we've talked about top 25, but it's really been top 17.
A lot of it is just us keep getting better. Us, we were talking earlier today with another just an interview, and I think everyone just thinks that week 1 happened and then everyone woke up. Well, I mean, there's a piece, yeah. I mean, there's an urgency level and there's some things that happen, but I just think that everything that has happened, we've gotten better every single day, every single rep. That was the challenge, and that was the mindset. Even before we started the season, is that every day we get better. Every snap we take in a game, we get better within that game because we gain more knowledge. We gain experience on what we're facing in front of us and the speed of it and the schemes and, what their game plan is against us. And so I'm proud of the guys for the progress we've made in every single week getting better. And there's been, this week is going to present new challenges, right? There's new matchups. There's new things that are going to pose problems for us, and things we got to attack and areas we got to continue to improve on that maybe we fell short on last week. Everybody was.
Yeah, I mean, and that mentality of it's a new challenge every week. I heard Keon Sabb say earlier this week, it's a nameless faces opponent in the sense of it's not about the jersey, it's not about who's fit, but it's about us getting better. They have that 1-0 mentality each week, just try to be 1-0. And they've done it 6 straight games. So trying to make it 7, trying to keep this ball rolling.
Yeah, and I think part of what you have to hear there, X, is with him talking about, this team's approach to whatever the matchup is, because it's not like Alabama has played, for the same teams.
Right.
If you look at, of course, the first game was perfectly set. Thank you, schedule makers. We needed that 77 or whatever it was.
73-0.
73. We needed that offensively and defensively, and we can't underestimate how much that meant to this team, because when you dominate a team that soundly, and everybody, starters, backups, everybody plays, and everybody plays at the same level, Can't underestimate that. Then they proceeded to have different challenges. Wisconsin wasn't necessarily a great team, but they were a physical team defensively. And then you get the Georgia game and, and it's traditional style football and, on the road. And then you get, it's like you get Vanderbilt and then, it's a revenge game, but the quarterback and the team is better than they were last year. And then you get Missouri, who's a more physical team and a pass rush. We've had something different every week. This is like the first time we've kind of had a repeat back where this team kind of has a good defense and a mobile quarterback. So it's kind of a combination of, I think, Missouri and Vanderbilt. And so every week has managed to keep this team on its toes. So let me run through really quick before we get to you get to a couple other things. We had some scores coming in. We have Tim Richardson, 38-17, 124. Tim Coggins, 45-20, 128. Jacob Powell and Tim Richardson have the same score, 38-17, with 156 rushing. So Jacob got a little more faith in that run game, so hopefully he's right. Samuel Pittner got 40-20 with 136 rushing yards for Alabama. Mark Anders, 38-14 with 140. So right now we have Robert from Mobile, Tim Richardson, Jacob Powell, and Mark Anders all getting into Alabama's offense 38 points. So got a lot of 17s. McGill, MP 17 on his score, Richardson 17 on his score, and Powell. But listen to this score. Piano Man X, 37-20. But guess where he got Alabama's rush yards, man?
Yeah, 207.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Come on, Piano Man. Wouldn't that be awesome? If we get 207, Ty goes for 300. We got a 500-yard pass game against it. 500 yards total offense. So Ty be getting some quiet 300-yard games, don't he?
Almost every week.
Yeah, it's just he eclipses 2,000 yards this week easily. Yep. But this will be what the 8th game of the year.
Yep.
What was my total, X?
What did you say? 30.
I said 4,000. No, I said 4,000 yards. Right? How many touchdowns does he have? 19.
18 passing and 2 rushing.
I think it's 19 passing.
Or 19. He has 21 touchdowns this year.
And I said he'd have 40. I think I said 32 passing. He may shatter that. Because I think he's only going to get better. But anyway.
Yeah, no. When you look at it, this defense that we're going up against, they lost a good bit last year. From last year, their safety, Eamon Warry, starter for the Seahawks. You got a couple other guys that each level had like their top guy drafted, their top defensive lineman, their top linebacker, their top DB all got drafted last year. But they still have Dylan Stewart, who's a freak athlete, sophomore, really dangerous as a pass rusher. But he's a little banged up, hurt his hip last week. So can Alabama take advantage of that? What is Alabama going to do rolling out their starting offensive line? That's a big question. Vandermark is listed as questionable this week. So is it Dewberry? Well, Jaden Roberts got hurt last week, but he's not on the injury reports, I hope. So it doesn't look like it was too serious of anything. Michael Carroll got the start last week. Wilkin Formby played more and played great. Yeah. They both did so.
So was that a light of fire under Wilkin?
Possibly.
So does that explain Vandermark? because both of those guys played more than the guy that started in front of them. So who do you see as the starting five? We'll come back and get those keys. Start on the keys victory on the other side. Who do you have starting in the starting five for Alabama?
I mean, if everybody's healthy, I think you have to go left to right. You go Proctor, Dewberry, Brailsford, Roberts, and right tackle. I don't know. Right tackle is the biggest question. It could be. I'll go Carroll. Just he got the start last week, but I think you still see probably close to a 50-50 split with him and Formby. And if Formby starts, I still think you see a 50-50 split.
I think Proctor. Don't be surprised if they don't do the same thing with Sanders that they did with Carroll. Okay, I'm not calling that. I said don't be surprised. But if I had to bet, I'm going Dewberry. But so and then I think you're going to see Wilkin back in the starting lineup. So we'll discuss that. And then coming back on the other side, X, we're going to hear Pee Wee from I think it's Red Bay that Pee Wee calls in from on Hey Coach. Had a big question that he asked Coach DeBoer regarding time of possession in red zone. And Coach elaborated on that and gave several other things that I think are actually keys to victory. We'll start that conversation on the other side. If you're one of the maniacs, go ahead and tell us in the chat, what's your top 1, 2, 3 keys to victory for Bama this week? Is it the typical, or will there be something outside of the norm? We'll have those conversations and more right here on the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, powered by Box Eye Care. And it's a free-for-all Friday powered by TJ's Pharmacy and Wellness at TJS Pharmacy, TJ'spharmacy.com.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you on this TGIF. Getting off to a nice and quiet start for your Friday. If you're moving along, do be aware we have road construction on 2059 on the eastbound lane before Foster's. Now, this long-term road work is going to block out a lane. Also, eastbound at Tuscaloosa Coaling, that's University Boulevard. Watch out for road work there as well. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Tammy Thomas.
Get a head start on the holidays at Celebrate Local. Shop the halls. Join us Wednesday, November 19th at Bryant Conference Center. Explore local shops, artists, and restaurants all in one place. Free admission. Presented by Visit Tuscaloosa and Premier Service Company.
Hi, this is Gene Poole. And I'm John Poole of Hudson Poole Fine Jewelers. Life's biggest milestones deserve more than a passing moment. An engagement, an anniversary, a new beginning, or a special birthday, fine jewelry makes those memories last because she will remember that moment every time she looks at it. When you give a gift from Hudson Poole, you're not just giving jewelry, you're giving a memory that lasts a lifetime. Shop in-store or online at hudsonpool.com.
Alabama football is back, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Crimson Tide. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Proud partner of the Crimson Tide. Sold in stadium and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Introducing your new Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do list gets to be a lot. Like organizing your holiday shopping and searching for great holiday deals and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Luckily, you can get a PC with all-day battery life to help you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside, backed by Dell's price match guarantee. Get yours today at Dell.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. See Dell.com for details.
Got timberland in West Alabama or East Mississippi? North River Timber Company has you covered. Since 2011, Courtney White, a registered forester, along with his expert team, have been managing comprehensive timber management plans, reforestation. It says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment go unrealized. Call North River Timber Company today. Email them at northrivertimberco@gmail.com or call 205-242-5127.
What does it mean? Melissa started her business in 2014. What would you say to someone considering Town Square Media Tuscaloosa?
My experience with Town Square Media has been awesome, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone. I think that this is the first time in my marketing experience that I've been able to see my return on investment. I would definitely say in the past that has not been the case. In this, I like knowing that that's 100%. A lot of the marketing we've done has been radio. You guys have so much more to offer than that, whether it's, websites, from targeted marketing to radio. You are kind of a one-stop shop, and it makes doing marketing so much easier. So I would definitely recommend it.
For more info on marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa, call 205-345-7200 or click on Advertise with Us on our website.
Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team, on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Possession is a combination of the offense staying on the field, converting third downs. I think we're at least a 50% clip, and then, the run game still has room for improvement, but I think there's a commitment to that, and then a lot of balls with a high percentage completion that Ty has, where there's not a lot of incompletions. The clock keeps running. We stay on the field, and the defense doing a good job of getting off the field at times. Again, there's always plays that you want more from the guys, but they're doing a good job of getting off, playing team football. And then I think, that leads to being in the game at the end and being able to control, especially the fourth quarter. But I think at the end of the half, we've been pretty good too. I mean, it was a different type of end of the half this last week where we were on defense and got a score, but we've been on offense and found ways to get in the end zone with a 2-minute drill. And then, again, fourth quarter, just grinding drives out. We didn't end up necessarily with the ball in our hands as the clock was running out this week, but we have multiple times. And I think the red zone piece, defensively, we really, I think, believe in making the other team snap it again. And, just the effort that goes into getting a guy on the ground, line up, make them snap it again, get them on the ground, and just, whether it's penalty or turnover, your backs are to the wall. They've obviously got down there for a reason. And so, but, until there's points on the board, it doesn't matter. And so, again, I thought that drive right at the end of the half was a great example. The guys got him down at the 1 or 2 and just made him continue to work. And then sooner or later, you go make the play and you put the pressure on him. And offensively, taking care of the football is where it starts. Finishing drives, if you turn it over or, don't execute down there, then that leads to obviously not getting anything. And, we've been solid all around. Ty, making the throws. Again, nice hookup this week with him and Isaiah on the first drive. Just a single one-on-one matchup there, and both of them being on the same page, and it's gone to different guys. But just execution in critical times. We've talked about that was the difference and things we didn't do last year in these close games that the SEC is going to have every single week across the board. You look, it's one-score games. You got to make the plays in the critical moments. Got to make plays.
Yeah, I mean, Coach is spot on when you hear him talking about the execution and thing. Alabama is 49.5% on third downs this year. They're 64.3% on fourth down attempts. That's keeping the ball. That's keeping momentum. That's keeping drives alive.
Yeah, and how many times that we miss a third down if you add the fourth down because it's the same drive?
Yeah.
That you're literally,
about 57%.
Yeah, you're calling safe plays on third down because you have another down.
Right.
So I mean, when we've been aggressive on third or fourth down, it's been absolutely crazy how successful we've been.
Yeah. And then talking about those end of the half drives, Alabama scored 35 points in the last minute of the first half through 7 games.
Is that counting the defensive touchdown?
Yep. That's tied to Horton against Louisiana Monroe, tied to Horton against Wisconsin, ties touchdown run against Georgia, his touchdown to Jeremy against Vandy, and the pick 6 by Xavier and Brown. So in 5 of the 7 games, we've scored right before half.
Yeah, and who was the best at doing that in the pros? Tom Brady and the Patriots. They used to call it stealing the possession because a lot of those times, not only have we scored, we got the ball coming out in the second half. So we kind of doubled them up on possessions because we get the ball right before the half and then get another quick one right before. Now, we hadn't always if we figure out that second half team thing, we blow people out because what we do is we get that one and then we have a bad first drive.
Right.
We're not very good on our first drive of the second half. So I'd like to see that improve this week. Let's get to Pat, and then we have some comments from our maniacs on that. And I want us to go back to, he mentioned 4 key statistics, X, in that audio. Time of possession. He mentioned penalties. He mentioned execution. He mentioned the turnover margin. And he also mentioned running the ball, but he also mentioned red zone scoring. So all of those are key factors. But let's get Pat in. Pat, you're in on the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier on this Free for All Friday. What's on your mind, sir?
2 questions. First off, I want to give you a score. About 42-17, Alabama rolls. And with Isaiah,
rushing yards.
What are yards, Pat?
Rushing yards for Alabama.
Yes, sir.
150.
Okay.
And let's go. Let's talk about with Brooks hurt, possibly out for this ball game. That hurts my feelings bad. Just added to the list from what I understand. And does that mean that we may see more from Cole Adams, Mr. Reliable?
I'm going to go Rico Scott is who you'll see more of. Not saying that Cole won't get involved, but it'll be Rico's first man up.
Yeah. I don't know which one of those guys Cole is second on the depth chart with as well, Pat. So he may be third on the depth chart based on his backup position, but these guys are so interchangeable. Meadows jumped in there when Ryan went down. So if Meadows is back, because he wasn't on the list this week,
true.
He may be where Ryan's spot, and Ryan may be in Brooks's spot. So as in the second rotation, I think Rico is going to be back in there. But I don't know. It's possible. Cole is a reliable player. Cole is one of those guys. I'll make this prediction now. Pat, Cole Adams will go to the NFL and be
a Julian Edelman. He'll be a Julian Edelman, Wes Welker type.
He'll go somewhere where and it'll be like, why didn't this guy play more? So
hey, his mama said he was fast. I just want to see him get in space one time and see what he can do.
Yeah,
right, y'all
I think
have
his
a blessed
biggest
one.
strength, Pat, is his possession, and he can be trusted. Now, he's the type of guy, Pat, that will come out of nowhere next year. You know why? Because the quarterbacks are throwing to him.
Yep.
The guys who will be competing next year will probably trust him like crazy. So it'll be interesting to watch. Thanks, Pat. All right, X. Before we just one quick thought here. Coach talked about execution and all of that. X. and how important that is. But this team just keeps getting better. When you take on that first time of possession thing, how big has that been for Alabama?
I think it's a huge part of what Alabama does. Alabama this year, like we talked about it last week, how it's more of a horizontal attack in the passing game than it is vertical. Not saying that we don't go vertical, but we
we have vertical on every play. It's just that they're taking that away. So
well, that's what I mean. Ty's smart with his decisions, which leads to more of a horizontal offense of approaching the passing game, which is fine because we've been really strong at finishing drives. We wear defenses out throughout the drive, and that plays into the benefit later in games when you're trying to control the clock and run the clock.
Yeah, well, the reason I say that is I don't think the approach is horizontal. Tennessee's approach is horizontal. I think our approach is vertical. I think our lack of running game has allowed people to take away the top end. If our running game improves, I think you'll see our deep game improve. I think you could see that this week. So that's why I'll say that in that sense. I understand what you're seeing manifest appears horizontal, but this coach's approach is aggressive, deep. We have deep guys. They're just not getting open, or Ty's not letting it go. There's been a couple times where Ty, has held it too long and not just trusted it. But for the most part, Ty's taking what the defense gives him, and that's making it sideline to sideline. If we get a run game, this offense becomes unstoppable. In the first half last week, we had a 99-yard drive, a 91-yard drive, and a 99-yard touchdown interception. That's crazy to think about. And then we had a couple long drives. So that time of possession is absolutely crazy what we're able to do, X.
To see a college team, real quick, just to see a college team have as many 12 to 15 play drives that end in touchdowns this year that Alabama's. I want to find the numbers because you don't see that in college. You don't see that in the pros a ton, but Alabama is consistent with it.
Well, and to me, it's not even just the number of plays; it's the number of plays and the length of the drive. It's 80. This team is. I guarantee you, we have more 80-yard plus drives than we do 50. 55-yard. We have more long drives than we do short drives for touchdowns. It's absolutely crazy. Tim Coggins said, X his keys: start fast, don't let them see any life, win time of possession, don't run any trick plays in all caps there. We kind of hit on those. Jacob Powell had an interesting take. He said linebackers have to play well, no big runs. Number 2, run game has to show up. And number 3, defense has to get off the field on third down, also play loose and have fun.
Yeah, I agree with that. And one of my keys is when we're looking at how to slow down Lenore Sellers, I think you kind of, because he is a threat to run. He's the biggest, most physical, and athletically gifted quarterback in the in the SEC. 6'3", 240 plus. You almost have to double spy him in a way without completely taking one of those guys out of the defense. And the way I think you do that is you have Jans Pierre kind of line up inside like we've seen him do and rush to contain. And if he doesn't get there, he drops back. And then you have a Justin Jefferson or somebody else that they're in a zone coverage, but they have eyes on Sellers for when he takes off.
Yeah.
And you kind of play them opposite of each other.
Yeah, you have to have two things. You have to have run lane integrity, and You have to have run lane integrity and a spy on the quarterback. You cannot just let him break it down. Keys to victory from Samuel Pittner is dominant line of scrimmage defensively, contain Sellers mistake-free football, and that's what Coach talked about. Man, we're winning the turnover battle or tying for it every week, and we've cut down on our penalties. That's huge. And MHS 047 says Elisa Lane of the SEC Network said that their South Carolina's offensive line is all banged up. She thinks defensive line has the advantage in this game. Your thoughts on those things?
Yeah, they had 6 offensive linemen miss last week. 5 of them are playing this week. That almost feels intentional. They said, I mean, 6 guys and 5 of them are playing this week. But I don't think they're at 100%, and I think we can take advantage of that. Get pressure on LT coming off the edge, Jans Pierre coming off the edge, Blitz and Lawson. Use those guys to make him move. Use those guys to get him off of his spot. But while you're getting him off of your spot, once again, you have to have somebody that has eyes on him. All right. And then you have Bam Bam 72, 1972-6 says South Carolina's pass rush could be a little bit of a problem. Having their pass rush is one key. Start fast, take the crowd out early, can't turn the ball over, allow South Carolina to hang around. X. Agreed. You have to jump out on them. Don't let them get confidence. Don't let them believe they have a chance in this game because the fan base has their back. The fans are going to be loud. Take it out. Yep, and that's what heavy hitter Tim Richardson said. Take the crowd out early, come out fast in the second half. Oh, please. Right. Wouldn't that be something? Alabama starts off fast in the second half. So it's pretty amazing thing there, X. But what's your score? Oh man, I've been thinking about this, and it's at their place. They have a pretty decent defense, but I trust Ty and his calls and his ability. I trust the way Kane Womack has been calling games and been able to slow down the opposing team's offenses. I'm going to go Bama 30-35. I'm going to go South Carolina 17. And I think we have 147 rushing yards. All right. I got it 41. That 17 has been a nice round score, but I'm going to give them – hey, defense going to show out. I'm going 13. I'm going defense, no big runs. Anyway, we'll see. And I'm going to our run game gets going. We get 167, not all in the running back room, quarterback play, and Ty uses his legs a little bit. I saw a couple times where they tried to get Ty in the run game. So I got 167, 41-13. X, does Auburn win against Arkansas? No. Where's it at? Is it at Jordan Hare? No. No. And it's supposed to rain. No. No. Taylor Green gonna have a field day. And I guess the question becomes, does Bobby Petrino audition for 2 jobs, the Auburn job and the Arkansas job? We thought it was going to happen last week, and an overtime loss, I think, bought them a little bit of rope. They lose to Arkansas. That rope is snatched, and he is out of there. So you're saying when we come back on Monday, Auburn has an interim head coach? You lose 5 in a row? Yeah. I don't care about the excuses. You gave up 10 sacks against Oklahoma. You couldn't score in the second half against Georgia. I don't want to hear the excuses. You're not a good, and you're supposed to be an offensive guy.
That's true. Ole Miss, Oklahoma.
Ole Miss. I think Lane bounces back.
Missouri and Vanderbilt, whichever one wins that one, is in the driver's seat for being right on the cusp of leading the SEC.
Vandy.
I've been going against Vandy. I'm going to go Mizzou, but I definitely think the team wearing black and gold wins. All right, take it out, man.
Hey, this is Martin Houston Show with Morning Xavier. This was a Friday edition powered by TJ's Pharmacy and Wellness. And remember, we're also powered by Box Eye Care each and every day. This is the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll catch y'all back Monday.
Real quick, who you play of the game? That's not quick.
Ty.
Ty's an easy bet. I'm going to go to defensive line dominates. We get 5 sacks. Remember this, trust in the Lord always. Lean not your own understanding. All your ways acknowledge him. And he will direct your paths. I'm Martin Houston. That's Xavier Houston. That's Jake Frumfield. Thanks to all the callers, listeners, viewers, and chatters, and the maniacs of this part of the program. We'll be back on Monday with the good, the bad, the ugly, and talking about Alabama's next big win. Roll Tide, everybody.
It's a celebration.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.